Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how I made this paper basket with 12 by 12 cardstock and pattern paper. I've had a few of you ask me to do a video on this and I'm finally getting around to doing it. Let's get started. You are going to need 2 sheets of pattern paper, and I'm using Tea Party by Stampin' Up, and I've already pre-cut mine so you don't have to watch me cut. This pattern is just the reverse of that. So you can get any 2 pattern paper that you like, the same or a different side or totally different paper packs. Then you're also going to need 3 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. This is going to be my base for the basket, and then I just picked 2 other colors to coordinate with the Tea Party paper. With 2 of the 12 by 12 cardstocks, you are going to cut 9 of each, so a total of 18. I cut 9 of these and 9 of these, and this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 square. And then after you cut the 9 out of each piece of cardstock, you're going to take 4 of each of those and you're going to cut them in half diagonally, like so. So you're going to have, when it's all over, you're going to have 5 of those squares, 5 of the pink squares or whatever color, and then you're going to have 4 cut diagonally and then 4 of these cut diagonally. And then you're going to take your pattern paper, move these over, and you're going to do the same, except it's a little bit different dimension. This is going to be 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 square. And you're going to take cut a total of 18, so 9 and 9. And you're going to do the same. You're going to take 4 of the pattern, this pattern, you're going to cut those diagonally. And then you're going to take 4 of this pattern and you're going to cut that diagonally. Then after you're done cutting, you're going to be ready to score your base. Now I'm using my Score Pal because eventually with your scoring, you're going to turn it sideways like this, and my cutter is not long enough to fit this total a piece of paper diagonally in my cutter, so I'm using my Score Pal. Okay, you're going to do several different scoring lines, and they're going to be equally spaced. So since you have a 12 by 12 piece of paper, we're going to score it 4, at 8, and that'll give you the 3 sections. So I'm going to do that now. And then on my Score Pal, I usually turn it all the way around and score it again to make sure that the bottom is scored just as well as the top. Okay, then you're going to flip it 90 degrees and you're going to do the same. You're going to score again at 4 inches and at 8. Oops. And then I'm going to flip it totally 90 and score down so the bottom is scored as well as the top. Okay. This is where you're going to flip your paper. So we have, I don't think you can see this, but we have 3 different sections, so you have 9 different squares that are equal. But now we need to score the corners diagonally. So I put the corner up at 6, and this is where it's kind of a little bit tricky because I just kind of try to even it out here with these marks over here, these 6 marks. And when it looks even to me, then I score down and meet this score line right here. And there, all your scoring is done. And you can do this with any size paper that's square. Like I said, a lot of people do 9 by 9 or 6 by 6, but I wanted my basket to be a little bit bigger. So then you just score or fold all of your lines. It's best to use your bone folder or even your Score Pal so you can. Okay, I'm back. So your basket's going to look like this, and as you can see, when we pinch it up, that forms the basket here. So now what you need to do is decide where you want your papers to coordinate. Do you want purple or pink on the bottom? And what I usually do is if I'm going to put purple here, then I'm going to put this pink one on top of the Tea Party, because otherwise this would blend in too much. So you just coordinate your papers, and I'm going to do a couple, and then I'm going to go away and finish it and we will show you the basket when I have all the coordinating papers on. So then you just stack your papers. And this is my Scotch ATG gun. A lot of people ask me about that. So that's going to be the inside of my basket when I fold it up like this. And then I'm going to show you one of these on the side. So I just take my pink piece and my Tea Party paper, whoops, my diagonal. Put this on here. And you could do all of your gluing before you even started folding your basket. It just depends on what you want to do. So then you just put this in this diagonal part of the basket. So then when it folds up, it's going to look like this. So I'll be back once I have everything glued together. I'm back. As you can see, I have put all my pattern paper and diagonals on the front and the back of my basket. So then when you fold up the corners that you scored, this is going to be how it looks. So the next thing that we need to do is use the O-ring, which I just use silver because that's the kind that I can get at the office supply store. And we're going to make holes in these in order to hold this together. And this is kind of the tricky part. So let's show you how I do that. I get a ruler, and normally I have a pencil, but my boys seem to always take my pencils for their homework. So you score in a 1/2 inch from the point. And sometimes I do just a little bit more than that. Maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 inch in from the point. And then I make a little mark. Hope you can see that little mark here. Then I go in from the point over here, and the 5/8 inch is just the one little mark, a little bit longer mark past the 1/2. And I make a little score line, a little mark over here. And you're going to punch that. So, here I'm trying to make it so I'm not in the way. You're going to punch that so that mark will go away. And then I just use an average school punch, as I call them, kind of for lunch tickets. And I find that little mark here, and I punch through it. Takes a little bit of pressure, but not a ton. And I don't have the back on mine, so the little pieces are going to go everywhere. And then to line it up, sometimes what you can do is either, you punch, it's pretty much going to be on mark here. Otherwise, you can fold it over, and this is a little bit trickier. But see how I can see that hole, line that up through the first punch, and you can try to punch that through. And then it should line up pretty well that way too. So that's two different ways you can do it. You can either mark both sides or fold one over and punch it again. So I'm going to get all of those holes punched. I'll come back and show you it again on the last one. So I'll be back after I do those. So we have the punches in. Let me get all these little things out all over. So when we line it up, our little O-ring is going to go in. So I just start on one end and thread two of them in this way, and then I pinch up the other end and thread both of these on this side, and close it. And then you're going to be able to decorate it with ribbon. And then this is, again, the finished product with all the ribbon around it, and it looks similar to this, just a different color combo. So I hope you can try this. I will put the instructions, written steps, on my blog post that goes with this video, so you can also follow the written if you want to refer to that when you're watching the video. So thanks for stopping by, and have fun creating.